1:33 here in the East. Quick look at the stories we're watching for you. We are now awaiting the final voyage for the Space Shuttle Atlantis. The crew strapped in on board as they prepare for the 12-day mission at the International Space Station. This is one of our last opportunities to watch a shuttle launch. We are live at 2:20 Eastern Time. They say the crowds are double the normal size down there. Watch it live right here. And the feds say 3 Pakistani men arrested in raids yesterday in Boston and Maine gave money to the Times Square terror suspect, but they may not have known how that money was to be used. Right now, those men are facing immigration charges, not criminal charges yet. And Balloon Boy's parents get their big balloon back in Colorado. The Larimer County Sheriff says Richard Heen even measured the device to make very sure that it was really the very same one that he launched in the air. You recall, everyone thought that the Heen's 6-year-old son was trapped in that balloon last fall, and it, of course, turned out to be a big hoax. Well, some brand new estimates revealing the true cost of health care reform, at least as of right now. The folks at the Congressional Budget Office, or CBO, find that the package will cost at least $115 billion more than previously expected. That may push the total price tag of reform over the $1 trillion mark. Let's listen to what President Obama and his White House team had to say when they were selling the health care overhaul bill.
Add it all up, and the plan I'm proposing will cost around $900 billion.
It reduces the deficit, meets President Obama's call to keep the cost under $900 billion over 10 years.
CBO has scored our bill at less than the $900 billion threshold that President Obama has called for.
We've done everything imaginable to get the most generous, most affordable coverage that we could within President Obama's target of $900 billion.
This bill, somewhere will be about $850, $900 billion, fully paid for, done within the healthcare system, and it brings down the deficit.
Joining me now for a fair and balanced debate, Mark Sawyer, a political science professor at UCLA, and Ben Ferguson, Icon radio talk show host. All right, gentlemen, so there you have it. The president didn't want this thing to be over $1 trillion, and now the CBO revises its numbers to suggest it's going to be over $1 trillion. So, Ben, where do we go from here? What does this mean?
Well, the whole thing is a lie, and I think the Democrats knew that from the very beginning. The way they were having to buy votes from their own party, the way that they had to literally do blackmail and everything they could against people to get it done. You know the accounting from this was wrong from the very beginning, because we're paying 10 years of taxes for 5 years of coverage. So no one's talking about the next 10 years when this is going to double, triple, or quadruple, and you know this as well as I do. There's a lot of costs when something is free. There's a lot of people going to go to the doctor to see more doctors about more things. This is going to get blown out like the BP oil spill has been.
Mark, you know, House Minority Leader Boehner came out and said this underscores the serious credibility gap, that's his words, between, you know, what the Obama administration says and what it actually delivers. What say you?
The only person that has a credibility gap is John Boehner, and Ben also does. He doesn't know a thing about the healthcare system. Offering people preventative care actually brings costs down. Look, if your roof is leaking, you don't just let it leak and let the house flood. You fix the roof, and that's what's going on in our healthcare system. We needed to fix the roof and get everything solid. And this puts on a solid foundation. And it reduces the deficit. What's going on is that there's discretionary spending that may or may not occur.
Wait, hold on.
It's discretionary.
I want to speak to this latest report, because, you know, the issue is they said this is going to be the cost, and then the Republicans came out and said, hold on, we're not sure those are right. Let's wait. And the Democrats said, no, we got to get this bill right through. Well, they did, and now, sure enough, the CBO has come out and said, oh, it's $115 billion more expensive than we estimated.
And Megyn,
at least, wait. So I want to give Mark the chance to weigh in on that specific point.
On that specific point. So what's gone on is the CBO has scored parts of the bill that are parts of making administrative changes. That spending may or may not occur. It's discretionary for Congress in the future. So the bill is not going to cost more than that. It's a possibility that it may cost more.
Go ahead, Ben.
Mark, your argument is disingenuous at best. Even to quote the President of the United States of America, Harry Reid, Nancy Pelosi, the Congressional Budget Office is a non-biased office in their terms. They used it, and they used their numbers as much as they could. They gave the CBO certain information to ram this bill through. When the Republicans said, that's not all the information, we want you to score it again, guess what? The CBO did their job in a non-biased way and found out that the president lied to America.
Well, you know, Mark,
the president did not lie to America. This is just reactionary nonsense. The bills get scored up and down as some of the assumptions change over time.
Nonsense.
This is foolish.
This is the largest in my entire life. This is the largest expansion of government, and you're saying this is reactionary when you're dealing with trillions of dollars in spending. You're saying don't worry about a couple $100 billion here. This is why we have an economy the way it is right now with this president.
You have to be kidding me. Interest rates are almost zero. The dollar is strong right now,
sir,
and deficits aren't the problem. The problem is declining demand. You don't know anything about economics either, Ben. I mean, these are the problems.
I know a lot about
There's a reactionary right out here that's just talking nonsense.
Mark,
the reality is that we had declining demand, and we needed to push it up. We just added 250,000 jobs last month.
Okay.
See, this is not the kind of nonsense that comes out.
My apologies to those in particular who were listening on Sirius who couldn't understand a darn word of what was just said because you two were talking over each other. Let's get back on point. The issue here, Mark, that we're trying to discuss is that, you know, we were promised this thing wasn't going to cost over $900 billion. You heard all the sound bites from everybody that we played in the intro. Now the CBO, which was touted by the Democrats, is telling us, oh, it's going to be an extra $115 billion. And so my question that I was trying to get to at with you before is, what of Boehner's accusation that there's a credibility gap? They said it wasn't going to cost more. Now the CBO says it will.
It's not a credibility gap. The problem is that the CBO is changing the numbers. And so what will happen is some of the discretionary spending in the bill will have to be adjusted to come in at the $900 billion. And that'll happen. Congress will do that. Congress isn't mandated to spend it. They have the possibility of spending it. And so then Ben always thinks that, oh, well, if Congress can spend, they will spend. He didn't have any problem spending $700 billion on Iraq, did he?
Ben, I'll give you the last
Megyn,
word to respond to that, and then I got to go.
The fact of the matter is the President of the United States of America said the economy is getting better. 9.9% unemployment. 40 million Americans are on food stamps. And this is another example of the President going, it's not going to cost more than $1 trillion. At the end of the day, it does cost more than $1 trillion. But he rammed it through, and now we're going to have to pay for it. All
right, gentlemen, good debate. You made my job easy. I appreciate you being here. Take care.
Thanks for having us.